Better late than never. The 2020 census data is out. We're talking about which states are gaining Congress members because of the growth. Plus, Idaho is the second fastest growing state. We're going to tell you which one is first.
Also, businesses in Spokane are having trouble finding employees. This morning, we spoke with two local owners who say people just aren't even showing up for the interview.
Hospitalizations are spiking in Washington.
There is no question that we are now in a fourth wave of this disease.
We'll tell you which demographics are contributing to the rising numbers.
And the sun is up and it is shining. It's a chilly start to the day today, but we're talking warmer temperatures this afternoon. I'll let you know just how warm we're set to get.
Up with KREM begins now.
Well, check this out. The pink moon could be seen across the globe. A supermoon is a full moon that happens when the moon is closest to the Earth.
According to NASA, this year's supermoon has been called a pink supermoon. Not necessarily because it looks pink, but because it appears in April and is named after an American plant, the pink phlox, that blooms in spring.
Okay.
Did you guys see it? Did you catch it? Oh my goodness, it was absolutely amazing last night. We've also gotten a couple of photos from viewers texting us in. This one's over the Palouse. Absolutely beautiful. You can text them to us 509-448-2000.
Such beautiful photos. Thank you to everyone who sent them in. You can also email them to us and let us share your beautiful photos. We love when you interact with us at home. All right, it is 7:31 on the, we want to say good morning and welcome to Up with KREM. I'm Tim Pham.
And I'm Dana Marie McNichol.
Yeah, we want to get right to meteorologist Jeremy Legoo to talk a little bit more about this supermoon. Jeremy, will it still be visible or will it start getting smaller starting tonight?
Yeah, all of that. It's going to get smaller. It will still be visible. It's not going to be fully full. It's that kind of combination. So if you missed out on your date for April 26th with the pink moon, you can still do it tomorrow. It's just not quite as full or quite as big. But it did appear quite full and quite big, 7% larger in the night sky and 15% brighter. So that's kind of cool. Those are your stats, but just bigger and brighter is the way I like to call it. Sunny early this morning and temperatures are on the rise. We have our temps hanging out in the 30s for us here in Spokane. It's a chilly start to the day. No two ways about it. 41 in Coeur d'Alene, 36 up in Sandpoint, and mid 40s out in central Washington. I think now that the sun's up and not obscured by any cloud cover, we will watch those temperatures climb rather quick. I think within the next half hour here, we will be up in the 40s in Spokane. And as wind picks up later on today, our temperatures are rising. Notice it does get a bit gusty this afternoon. Not strong enough to cause any damage, just strong enough that you're going to know it is a bit gusty. It's a mix of clouds and sun taking us into this afternoon, but we do stay dry today and tomorrow across the inland northwest. Temperatures, though, on the rise. After topping out in the upper 50s yesterday, we climb into the mid 60s later on this afternoon.
All right, Jeremy, thanks so much. The 2020 census is out and there are now more than 331 million people in America. And it's actually the slowest growth since the 1930s.
So here's a quick breakdown of all of the states losing and gaining Congress seats due to this population change. The new data affects political seats in the House. Oregon, Montana, Colorado, Florida, North Carolina, they're all gaining a seat. Texas is actually gaining 2.
Pretty interesting. Well, 7 states, including California, Illinois, Michigan, New York, Ohio, Pennsylvania, and West Virginia are actually losing a seat. And get this, New York lost its seat by a mere 89 people.
People are moving out of those cities. Now, here in Washington, our population grew more than 7.6 million people. That's up 13% from 10 years ago. We're going to see no changes to the House seat. And anyone still holding on to the idea that Idaho is one of the best kept secrets in the country may not be so happy about this one. I think the secret's out, guys.
Yeah, the new census data showed Idaho's population as of 2020 is 1.8 million, and that's actually a 17.3% increase from 2010. While Idaho doesn't get more congressional seats, experts say Idaho needs about 500,000 more residents to pick up that new seat.
For federal funding, 400 of programs like Medicare and Medicaid that will be affected by this new data. Agencies no longer have to rely on that 10-year-old data, so faster growing states like Idaho will actually benefit. Idaho was the second fastest growing state in the union behind, Utah, that's the fastest growing state.
Interesting.
Some fun facts for you.
Happening right now, some local businesses are having trouble filling jobs. Businesses like Delish Hamburgers are included. They recently actually had to close their lobby because they just didn't have enough staff to meet the demand. Owner Michael Lish says he's scheduled 150 interviews since January, but only 10 people actually showed up. Trailbreaker Cider in Liberty Lake is also looking for people to hire. It just posted yesterday it needs kitchen staff.
I've got about 5 positions I need filled right now. I'm having a hard time finding people to work day shifts Monday through Friday. And that's, you know, in the restaurant business, that's always been the easiest one to find.
It remains to be seen just how challenging this will be, but I'm anticipating it to be a little bit of a challenge.
Last year, Trailbreaker also had its fair share of interview no-shows, but as of this week, they've already received a few resumes. According to the Washington State Employment Security Department, it's paid more than $17 billion in benefits to over 1 million Washingtonians since March of last year. Both business owners suspect some people are earning more money on unemployment, or many are just not yet comfortable with coming back to work.
The White House says it will share a stockpile of the AstraZeneca vaccine with the rest of the world once it passes an FDA safety check. Officials announced Monday that 60 million doses of the AstraZeneca vaccine would be sent to other countries as soon as they were available. It's unclear which nations will receive the doses. The U.S. has already committed to sharing 4 million AstraZeneca vaccines with Canada and Mexico. White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki says no doses will be shared until the FDA concludes its review, which is expected to take a couple more weeks. The U.S. and other nations also pledged oxygen and other supplies to India, where right now it's considered a current coronavirus hotspot.
Well, here are 3 things to know about the coronavirus this morning. First, vaccinated Americans could have new guidance from the CDC on wearing masks by the end of today.
It could be another benefit of getting a vaccine as health officials continue to urge everyone to get their shots.
The risk of infection outside is really minimum. If you're vaccinated and you're outside, it's even less.
More than 28% of the country is fully vaccinated against COVID-19 right now.
Second, as coronavirus cases continue to spike in Washington, so are hospitalizations. The Washington State Hospital Association says younger people are largely behind the spike.
There is no question that we are now in a 4th wave of this disease.
Right now, 44 hospitals across Washington reported more than 600 hospitalizations. That's the most we've seen in months. The State Department of Health says about 40% of people hospitalized are between 40 and 59 years old.
The Spokane Regional Health District is resuming the use of the Johnson & Johnson single-shot vaccine. This follows an 11-day pause. Federal health officials lifted the nationwide pause on the vaccine Friday after investigating 15 cases of blood clots out of 8 million people who received the J&J shot. The health district said in a press release today it uses the J&J shot for people who are homebound, people in congregate settings, and residents of rural communities. Spokane County's interim health officer, Dr. Francisco Velasquez, said the vaccine is safe and effective. In a statement, he said, quote, "The risks are rare compared to the enormous morbidity and mortality risks associated with contracting the COVID-19 virus. Its ease of use make it instrumental in our many vaccination outreach efforts."
Well, we just broke down the big takeaways from the 2020 census, and still to come in our next hour of Up with KREM, we'll break down why the census even exists.
And after the break, an Alaskan senator has been banned from Alaska Airlines for continued refusal to wear a mask. We're going to tell you about her brand new commute to the state capitol, and let me tell you, it's not a short one. She's going to need a plane.
And we're going to take you outside, talk sunshine in today's forecast, and as clouds build later on this week, what that does for our temperatures.